Hi guys, welcome to Scorched Earth Tarot. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. Or if you're cross-watching for a Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Ascendant, because I know you guys are out there, and that's a thing. It's fine, no shade. If you don't know what your Moon or Ascendant signs are, have a look in the description box below. There's a link down there that will help you get your whole natal chart for free, and then come back and watch the videos for your Moon and Rising signs, because it'll probably give you a bit more information about what's going on with you in the month of November. Equally, if you would like a personal reading with me, my information is down in the description box. Also, there's an email address you can contact me on, or there's my social media links. Whichever works better for you is fine. Most people tend to use the social media, to be honest, but whatever works for you. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate the support. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Good to have you here. And please do consider subscribing, because I'm here to help people, as many people as I possibly can, and raising the visibility of the channel gets me out to more people and kind of makes that happen. And that's what I'm after. What else to tell you? Mercury went into retrograde on Halloween. What does this mean for you? Well, it's associated with issues with technology, communication as well. You may find that you say one thing and somebody hears something entirely different, and you're just kind of talking at cross purposes, or nuances missed, all that sort of thing. So just be aware of that. It's a thing. But the other thing that Mercury does when it goes into retrograde is it throws back situations, people, old emotions that we thought we've dealt with, but that we haven't properly. And it gives you an opportunity to close out those cycles and move on in the correct way. So, it happening in Scorpio season means it's kind of, the emotional aspect of it is multiplied to the nth degree. Whatever situation gets thrown up, whether that's an ex coming back, people that you haven't seen in an age get in touch, that sort of thing. It's going to be quite intense, right? And that's going to last until November the 20th, and then we've got a shadow period of roughly 2 weeks, I think, after, where you've got like the echoes of the energy going on. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you and all that, so take it as it comes, and don't get scared, it's all good. Right, I think that's everything that we need to talk about, so I'm going to pull some cards for you, Capricorn, for the month of November. Let's see what's going on with you. Some cards for Capricorn for November. I'm quite surprised that you've ended up being last. Like, Capricorn's usually one of the signs that I do first, but for some reason I was not called to do your reading until today. I don't know what that's about, but okay, so we've got two cards so far. We've got the Universe in this deck, which is the World card. We've got the Empress, so all major arcana so far. The Death card has flipped, so I'm going to show it to you. This might just be a nod to the fact that we're in Scorpio season. Death is the card of Scorpio, or it might not. I'm going to put it back into the deck, because if it wants to come out, it will, I'm sure. We'll see. One more card for Capricorn for the month of November, please. That was 3. I'm not taking all of those. I'm going to have a little neb at them. Page of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, and the Sun. Shuffled back into the deck. One more card for Capricorn, please. One card. Got the Lovers, card of Gemini. So that's a full house of major arcana for you, Capricorn. Very interesting. 10 of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. That's complete emotional fulfillment. Looks like November is going to be pretty important for you. We're going to pull some extra cards from this deck here to get some clarity. And then we'll get on with the reading. It is time-stamped, so if you don't want to watch all of this bit at the beginning, you know, me shuffling and talking and all that kind of thing, the first comment in the comment box is me time-stamping the video. Go and click on that, and you can skip ahead. I won't be in the slightest bit offended. Why is the World card here for Capricorn? Okay, we've got the Eight of Swords, and we've got the Ten of Wands. I seem to recall that was in your reading last month as well, Cappy. Why is the Empress here for Capricorn? Why is the Empress here for Capricorn? Got the Knight of Swords. Cards are being pretty reticent though. Why is the Empress here? There we go. The Temperance card of Sagittarius. Major Arcana again. Right. Why is the Lovers here? Ten of Pentacles, very nice earth energy. That's your energy, Capricorn. And the second 10 that we have, third 10, that we have on the table. Why is the Lovers here? Saw this a lot in the pre-shuffle actually. Seven of Wands, interesting. Got the Six of Wands on the bottom of this deck. That's fire energy and the card of victory. So, Capricorn. The first card you've got is the Universe. It's the World card in standard decks. And it's usually depicted with the four fixed signs at the corners. So that's Taurus, Leo, Capricorn, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Okay. And it's a card that talks of endings. It talks about completions of cycles. And the idea is, once you've hit this point, the next step is the Fool, you know. Except it's not going back, it's going forwards. Because the major arcana is the Fool's journey, right? So the Fool meanders through all the major arcana and gets here, reaches a level of enlightenment, and then he starts again on a new journey, incorporating all of the lessons that he's learned in the previous journey, you know, and hopefully, you know, improving himself and circumstances as he goes. But in the standard kind of universal Waite that I use, there's a joyful feel to the World card, and so it should be, because it's the completion of a cycle. You've made it, you've done it. Time to go on to the next thing. But I find this rather barren in comparison. It's cold. It's cold and it's stony, in fact, you know. And it's dark. And the other card is bright. It's under a starry sky. But it's cold. Nothing's growing. And there's a feeling of isolation in it that there isn't in the other cards. And I mention this because you pull like the same card from 15 different decks and they're all slightly different. You know, there's a nuance between them and it changes the meaning. So the deck that I picked to do your reading with, you know, that I picked the main cards for, is as important as the card that I pull in itself, because there's a message in the difference as well as the card. And I don't feel victory here, I don't feel joy. I feel isolation and cold and barrenness. And the card that you've got to clarify is the Eight of Swords, and I think a couple of signs had this yesterday. I think Leo had it, and Gemini, in fact. And the Eight of Swords is about being trapped, but it's being trapped mentally inside a prison of your own creation. You know, like the woman depicted here in this card is in no danger whatsoever, but her perception of her position is very different. And she's blindfolded and she's bound, and there are swords all around, you know, and she's got a foot in the water. She doesn't realise it's just a puddle, you know. She can probably hear the sea. Her perception of the danger that she is in is makes it seem far more grave than it actually is. But the reason that it's a prison of her own making is because each one of these things that restricts her are actually easily manoeuvred around. Okay, so she's bound but very loosely. If she just wriggled, those binds would loosen off, and she would have her hands free. If she had her hands free, she could take her blindfold off, and then she could negotiate her way around those swords and back to this castle up in the background, you know, which is her sanctuary, her safe place. But she's not. She's frozen in fear, and she's staying exactly where she is. So to that end, it can often speak of self-sabotage. Yeah? This is why you're trapped in your own head, because you're not wriggling free of those things that bind you. And those things that bind you aren't really binding you. It's your perception of the things that are binding you. And then we have the Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Wands came up for you last month, Capricorn. It's a card of burden. It's a card of taking on too much and having too much expected of you, something being too hard work. And I think I spoke at length about how it's really hard to push a Capricorn to the point where they don't feel like they can carry on with work that they have been given. And I mean, I'm saying work, but you know, take it as it resonates to you. This could refer to a relationship. It could be a job, it could be a friendship, it could be some sort of interpersonal relationship that you have. Take it as it resonates to you, right? But it's too hard. And I feel like the reason that the world is here is because you've been feeling stuck in a situation that has been stressing you out, that has been, you know, tiring you out, exhausting you, and not leaving you time to do those things that you enjoy. And I feel like the reason why this particular depiction of the world is in the deck that I picked to read for you today is because you're looking to end that, but it's not joyful for you. You're feeling like you've been forced into this position and you don't like it. You know, you feel like your hands are tied and that you must do this thing, but it's not happening in the way that you wanted it to happen. And the next card you've got is the Empress. Now, the Empress is a card of fertility and abundance and all that good stuff. You know, the energy that she has is almost a polar opposite to the cards here. She's often depicted as pregnant because she indicates the birth of new things, and you know that could be a child, but it's not. Tarot isn't often as literal as that can be, but I don't feel like it is in this. It's new creative things that you are birthing and you're ready to bring into the world. So, you know, ideas, new relationships, you know, that kind of thing. There's a sort of wistful energy to this card. You know, she's very powerful, the Empress. She's the queen of all queens. You know, she's got all of the attributes of the queens of all of the suits are present in this one woman here, and she is the ultimate mother as well. It could be that you have children. It could be that you're with someone who has children. You know, take it as it resonates. But she's looking off into the distance, so far off into the distance that it makes me feel like she's kind of stuck in her head a little bit. Not daydreaming exactly, but certainly kind of lost in thought. What is she thinking about? Well, the next card that we have is the Knight of Swords. It's air energy. I often associate this with Gemini. That may or may not be important. But Knights are about swift action. They're about moving really fast. You know, of all the suits, the swords move the fastest, and they are directly at the other end of the spectrum from you, because as a Capricorn, as an earth sign, your energy is quite slow. Okay? It's slow, but it's thorough. It's methodical. You know, absolutely don't have that energy with this card here. Right? This card's almost too fast. You know, there's a great deal of haste in this card. Even the horse looks completely stricken with how fast they're going. You know, it's going to take quite a bit to slow this pair down. So it's a card of charging in too fast. And because it's swords, this could be communication. It could be your mental state. It could be thinking too hard about something. And then we have Temperance, and Temperance is again at the other end of the spectrum. This is about, it's fire, but for me it's about taking things slow. It's about being patient and balanced things. And as a counterpart to it, it's like these are completely different. Just as these are completely different. And all the others are completely different. I'm going to pull another couple of cards because I feel like there's something missing here. A link between all of these cards. What is the link between the cards? Why is the Knight of Swords here for Capricorn? Right, okay. So I said I thought that the Empress looked like she was lost in thought, she was wistful, she was looking off into the distance, but you get the impression from the way that her eyes are that she's not really seeing what's directly in front of her. She's looking at something far, far ahead in the distance in her own mind. And then we've got the Knight of Swords. And the cards that have come up to clarify in this order are the Ten of Swords, Strength, and the Six of Wands. And this is the second time the Six of Wands has appeared in this reading, because it was the shadow card as well. I think this is a card of you having had enough, you know, and this is trying to bring about a really swift end to what it is that's really, really bothering you, except that the ending's here already, and you're not happy about it. Why are you not happy about it? You know, this is like all Ten of Swords are kind of unpleasant. It's just an unpleasant notion. There's betrayal implied in this card. Betrayal and humiliation and truly being stabbed until dead. You know, maybe somebody stabbed you in the back with something. You know, whatever it is, it's not a healthy situation. Or perhaps the issue is that it has come around too fast. Maybe that's what it is, because you're not the Knight of Swords. Very different to your energy, very different to the way that you like to do things, and the Ten of Swords then. I think this is probably more like what it is. It's all come about too fast and you haven't had an opportunity to adjust to the new circumstances, or what might be the new circumstances very soon. And then we've got these two cards here. This is Strength and the Six of Wands. Now, these are both cards of Leo. And Leo's a fixed sign. So, despite being fire, they also kind of like to not fuck about with the status quo too much. They like things where they like them, you know. But they've got the internal strength of character to be able to adjust to new circumstances as they occur. And maybe you're hoping for this. Maybe you're employing this. But I'm seeing fear. I'm getting a feeling of being bundled about. And I can see why that would absolutely upset you. Like, what you want to be is strong and adaptable, and you want to be successful. Which is a noble intention, but it's not quite how this is playing out. And then we've got Temperance. Now, Temperance is number 14, the major arcana, which reduces down to a 5. And 5s are about change, and more often than not, they're about uncomfortable change. So for me, Temperance comes to talk about healing, being patient with yourself after overcoming adversity, right? We've got a crown in the background there, and it's sitting over the mountains. Like, you have conquered something, and now you're in a place and you're ready to heal this energy. And if you were wanting to do that, then having these two Leo cards here would be absolutely perfect. Where's Temperance here for Capricorn? Where's Temperance here for Capricorn? We've got Death and the Seven of Wands. Now, this is death is about change, like not just a little bit of change, but massive, huge, life-changing things that go on. You know, like the death energy comes in to shake stuff up. You know, it takes away the stuff that's no good for you. That the universe has given you an opportunity to close out and you haven't done. You'll get so long to do it, and then the universe will come and do it for you. And then we've got the Seven of Wands, which is about feeling really defensive. You know, you're feeling somewhat under attack by your shifting circumstances. That's, yes, you're standing on shifting sand, and it's really upsetting you. You don't like it. You've got some very noble aspirations. You've got some, you know, the foundation of what you want is absolutely perfect, but everything's moving too fast. You don't like it. Eight of Swords. Yeah. We've got the Moon and the Two of Cups. I'll come back to the Eight of Swords to find out why it is that you're feeling so trapped and so restricted. And we've got the Moon and the Two of Cups. This is, your interpersonal relationships are not. I just get a feeling of bafflement. I think I've said that already. I'm feeling baffled by the way everything's unfolding, and I think people have been instrumental in this. You know, those people that you spend your time with. Because I know I said it could go any way, but I do get a career kind of work thing with it, and this is not just because you're Capricorn. I'm kind of feeling like this is a work situation. I feel like part of what's left you feeling restricted is, you know, maybe you're not even doing the job that you actually, you know, joined the place to do, because actually you spend more time in meetings with people or having to deal with people who you don't understand, whose motives you don't understand, because you weren't really supposed to be doing this job. You know, I mean, take it as it resonates to you. But there's definitely an aspect of interpersonal relationships that are causing you some confusion and making it, they're just too hard. They feel too hard. And the final card that we've got is the Lovers. Right? Now, in a love reading, that would be, you know, an expected thing. Because everybody just jumps to, you know, assuming that this is about sexual love. And it's not, actually. For me as a reader, this means choice. The original depiction of this card had a man and 2 women on it. And the idea was he was being called to make a choice between those 2 women. Hence it was, you know, was the Lovers, but it was also a choice. And I almost always read it that way. So in November, you've got a choice between something and something else. And it seems like those 2 things that you have a choice between is the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. Now, this is not the first time the Seven of Wands has come out. Like, it would literally just come out as a clarifier here for death. Just dropped it there. Defensive energy, panicky energy, feeling like you need to defend yourself. Temperance being there and death being here. It makes me think that this Seven of Wands, as it appears here, is a want to stop feeling so attacked. Because he is being attacked, you know, he's being attacked on all sides. It's wanting it to stop. You know, if you use death as a negative modifier, it's not this. This is a card of healing. You feel like your life would be better if you could stop having to deal with this kind of situation. So then we've got the Ten of Pentacles. So if your choice is between money, not feeling like that, maybe feeling like that, I'm going to pull another couple of cards. Why is the Ten of Pentacles here for Capricorn? Apparently it just wants to be one. It's the Three of Swords. Another card for Capricorn, please. What's the Three of Swords? Ace of Wands. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of you know, well, sometimes it's called the inheritance card, right? But the point is, it's all of your needs being met, right? It could be a card of commitment, but it's a card of knowing that your bills are paid and you've got a bit left over and all that kind of thing. It's material comfort. And if it was any other sign but Capricorn, I would read it just exactly like that. But because it's Capricorn, and because you're Earth, and because this is an Earth card, your sense of self and your comfort and everything is wrapped up in the Ten of Pentacles. You know, there are other signs who wouldn't really give that much of a fuck about this card, like they're just not interested in material stuff, but you are, you know. You define yourself by these things. You know, you like to have your comforts around you. You like things to be solid, and there's an absolute solid feeling to this card. You know, it's got castle walls and big solid buildings. You know, all that kind of thing. It's not just the pentacles; it's everything that goes along with the pentacles. And there's a lack of having to worry about things. You can just get your head down and do what you like to do, without worrying about anything else. You know, there are harmonious relationships in here. And then we've got the Three of Swords and the Ace of Wands, and I think you just want to get back to things that excite you. I think that you've really lost interest in what it is that you've been doing. But rather than make that adjustment really slowly, as you would like to do, with a nice gentle transition that doesn't upset the apple cart too much. I feel like it's gained momentum, and it's at a pace that you weren't expecting and that you weren't ready for, and that you're not comfortable with. But you've got an opportunity to find something. And I say find, but an Ace of Wands is a gift. It's an opportunity that comes along just as you need it, whether that's, you know, a thought in your head that happens at just exactly the right time, or people, or, you know, you being presented with something. You know, what you choose to do with the Ace is your business, but you're gifted the opportunity to use it. Three of Swords, like, you're just sick of dealing with the people that you're dealing with right now. You know? It's doing nothing for your life, and you want to get a bit of excitement back. Why is Seven of Wands here again? What's the Seven of Wands? Got the Daughter of Pentacles reversed. It's the Page of Pentacles. You feel like there's nothing left to learn where you are. You've got Temperance again. Like, these have come out underneath the Seven of Wands. Like, feeling attacked by people who don't actually know as much as you do about what you're doing. You know, Peter Principle in action, perhaps. But not only do they not know as much as you do about what it is that you're doing, but you've kind of topped out where you are. There's nothing really much left to learn. And if you have indeed been doing a job that you weren't even hired to do in the first place, then maybe, like, you've got literally no interest in doing that anymore. And you've got Temperance. The balance is all wrong with what you're doing at the moment. So you wanted it to change. You've been desperate for it to change. And it is changing. We've got the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck here, and we already have the Six of Wands down here. Like, what you're doing is headed in the right direction. It's happening too fast for you, though. The other two cards at the bottom of the main deck for the shadow cards are the Ten of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. Like, you have an opportunity coming up in November if you can just try and find something to grab on to keep you above the sand that is shifting underneath your very feet. It's coming. Well, you know it's coming. It's coming too fast. But once it's here, you're going to achieve a balance. It's going to be very good for you. But you need to not shut down to the process. And I feel like you're getting very close to that. I feel anxious. There's a rising wave of something. I feel a bit sick, actually, just thinking about it. Just ride this wave out, Capricorn. I know it's not what you enjoy. I know it's not what you like. But I mean, hell, man, you've got the Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands together as one of your choices. It's worth being out of your comfort zone for a short time in November to let this happen, because you've got the fucking Six of Wands twice. You've got the Ten of Cups. You've got the Ten of Pentacles. That talks to me about balancing out work life and home life, and I think that was a theme for last month for you, definitely. We've got more balance coming in Temperance twice. You know. I mean, the Empress is also the card of Libra, so it could be that there's a Libran who's actually involved in this process, who's accelerated this for you, and you're kind of like trying to put on the brakes a little bit. Yeah, but it's character building, dude. It's character building. Just go with it. It's fine. Okay, Capricorn, this is what I've got for you. I'm going to leave it here. I've got fucking Eight of Swords on the bottom of this deck again here. Like, you're not trapped. you perceive more danger than there is for you currently. Like, trust in the process. Because I mean, the other thing about temperance, the other thing that it can indicate is protection. You are protected during this time, but this is a bit of an initiation of fire. It's like, but this is how we grow such things. So I'm going to leave it there. If it resonated, I'd love it if you like the video or leave a comment or something like that, and do subscribe. I'd love you to the moon back if you do that. I'm uploading content more often now, so if you subscribe you'll get notified when stuff comes up. Yeah, so I guess I'll just see you next time.